friends and family, this is Megan Bone, aka 저는 미국 사람. And I thought it would be super interesting to do a video on words I always say in Korean. Because you guys know that my two besties in Korea are, Toyana and Carson. We all speak Korean because we all live Korean lives and have kind of assimilated in Korea, right? So even when we're together in English, there's words that we just say in Korean. And it's interesting because we're making our own language. It's inevitable that when two cultures mix together and people assimilate there, that they make their own language. And they share. So for example, in America, we have a lot of people who speak Spanish, so a lot of Americans know certain Spanish words. And Spanish people incorporate a lot of English words in their daily vocabulary too, even when they're speaking Spanish together. So that's kind of what we're noticing here. So without further ado, let's move on to things I always say in Korean. Okay, so the first ones are just things that are names of stuff. So the names of places, the names of food dishes, partly because Koreans eat a whole bunch of vegetables that I've never seen in my life, so I don't even know what they're called in English. Yeah, and I don't care to find out. We just know this is gosari. I have no idea what gosari is in English, but gosari looks weird, but it is very delicious. I'm telling you right now, gosari, if you just boil it a little bit and you add some birke in it, a little bit of garlic up in it, a little bit of soy sauce up in it. And along the lines of names of stuff, also people's titles, because Korea is very title oriented. You've got so many titles for so many things, but in a lot of these things, I will be honest, I don't even know in English because we're not title oriented. We just learn people's names. So So for example, you've got titles like, I don't know, 팀장님, 사장님, 이사님, 대표님. So whenever we're telling stories for each other, Tor will be like, my 팀장님 was like this. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. You know what I mean? So because we just know what it is, but we don't know, I don't even know what to call 팀장님 in English. So you just know that person's title and who that person is and what they do and in what situation. So yes. Oh. And stuff like 언니, 오빠, 언니, 삼촌, uncle, I have a lot of 삼촌. I would never say brother, sister, older brother, older sister, right? Who would say that? I'd be like, my 언니 from, blah, 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 and they would tell the story. And one for me, especially because you guys know I'm starting the business stuff or whatever, so there's websites that you have to go on to pay certain taxes and stuff. And honestly, because I learned all this business stuff in Korea, I didn't know a thing about business in America, so I had no idea what these things are called in English. I'll be like, oh yeah, I gotta send the 세금 계산서 to, Wish company or whatever, company. Or I'll be like, yeah, I have to pay the 부가가치세 or the 완전세 or whatever. Because I know that they're all taxes and I know what they are, but I don't know what they are in English. Does that make sense? So the next thing that we always mix in and throw in Korean and English are objects. Especially if the objects' names are shorter than the English names. So, for example, phone charger. Well, I guess it's 3 syllables. Never mind. Throw that out the window. It's not shorter. It just feels comfortable to say for some reason. So phone charger is 중장기. So I'll be like, can you give me my 중장기? Certain objects we'll just say, or especially 휴지 is toilet paper. We'll be like, yo, pass me the 휴지. Or something like that. Okay, the next word that I always say in Korean is 시끄러워. 시끄러워 means noisy, loud. So one time me and Carson were trying to film a vlog in a place and we couldn't use the footage because the girls next to us were too 시끄러워. If we're in an apartment or something and the neighbors are being too loud, we'll be like, why are they being so 시끄러워? And another word that we'll say is 역시. I don't even know what 역시 is in English, but okay, I guess it means kind of I knew it, or I expected you to do that because you've shown that you were tending towards doing this thing, so I knew that you would have chosen that or done that thing. That is a mouthful to describe in English, but in Korean, if you just say, 역시, everybody knows, that means that you expected that this person would have had that outcome or this person would have chosen that thing. So I noticed in Korean there are a lot of words that have so much emotion behind them. One word will mean a whole sentence. So most of those words we always just say in Korean. So yes, there's 역시. And then there is 정신없다. It means your 정신, your consciousness or whatever is gone out of your brain. So when you're scatterbrained or when you like can't focus properly because you've had a stressful day or like a long night or whatever, then you could say, oh, I'm so like, so here's an example sentence. Like if I just did something and I forgot something or had a ditzy moment and I am really like 정신없다, I'll say it like that. Oh, I'm so like, oh, this 정신없다 right now. Or like something like that. Oh, the next one I just thought of. Okay, 징그러. Like, 징그러 means like, ew, like that. Or 강지러 means like, you know, itchy. Yeah. And another word that we'll say is 시원해. 시원하다 means like something that's, it could be cool or refreshing, or it could like feel good. So if you're getting a massage, then you'll be like, ah, 시원해. Because I feel like we don't have one expression that means that in English. You have to say, oh, this feels good, or oh, this is so good, or that's the spot, right? That's just way too long, okay? 시원해. Done. Everybody knows what you're talking about. It feels good. If you're on the foam roller and you're rolling out your muscles, you'll be like, oh, 시원해. You know, something like that. Or even if you eat, like, or if you drink like a nice, you know, cup of something, you can just, 시원해. It's like a good, like kind of refreshed kind of like feeling as well. So we say 시원해 basically all the time. Okay, the next one, we always say 분위기. 분위기 means the atmosphere of the place. When we are when we're coffee shop hunting, we'll go inside. So one of us will be like, oh, I like it. What do you think? And I'll be like, I don't know. I don't like the 분위기. Maybe you wanted a more quiet place, but this is like a loud, rowdy, rambunctious place. You don't like the 분위기, the aura. People also have a 분위기 too. But anyway, so besides the foods and objects and stuff around Korea, which we obviously should be saying in Korean, you know, those are just the words that I say in Korean. So, you know. So if you like this video and like to see more videos, please subscribe to my YouTube page, which is down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, like me on Facebook, follow me on Snapchat, and I will see ya.